Hey guys, it's been a while. I thought I should make a new video. So in this one, I'm going to show you what my current character is in Rise of Iron, my most focused character. No one has asked me what my most focused character is. I wish people would, that way I'd have more of an inclination to make these types of videos. But I know that sometimes people like to see what other people are up to. And since those of you that are not on my friends list could not ever possibly know what I have going on, this is a video for that, showing my progression. So, let's get into it. So, just to start, I have a full set minus the mark of the Days of Iron set. So that's what I'm using, minus the mark. I haven't unlocked the mark yet. And almost every piece is above 360 except for the gauntlets, although if I put on Ruin Wings, I could have 360 gauntlets as well. And they're just Days of Iron stuff. It's all just random perk rolls here and there, nothing really too special. I chose the Memory of Yolder because I have died way too many times to sprint lock in PvP and in PvE, actually. I've died way too many times to it. So I just chose Memory Yolder because it is my favorite. I have my Iron Song Shell. This is one of the only pieces of gear that is not under 360 that I can wear. I've grinded for ghost shells for a while now, and I cannot get a 360 or above ghost shell, so I'm stuck at 354 for now, but it's okay. And so, right now, I was using the Khvostov 7G0X, and I'm going to post a review of it in a couple days, maybe about a day or so, on what I think of the weapon later on. But the weapon that I use most often is my Hopscotch Pilgrim. I got this on my second match of Year 3 Crucible. It has Red Dot, ORS-1, Secret Round, Handlaid Stock, and Spray and Play. It is a PvE roll. It is without a doubt a PvE roll. Not a PvP roll, but this is what I use most often as my primary. And if I'm doing Crucible, I'll mainly use Khvostov 7G0X because I'm trying to see how it works in the current meta. And occasionally I'll use the Wounded, which is a Future War Cult scout rifle. It's one of the new ones. It has full auto, perfect balance, Zen Moment, which is just great. It has a great stability in having full auto on it. Basically solidifies its role as a long-range monster even more, in my opinion. And then also occasionally I'll use my 330 Hakon's Hatchet for only Crucible. I will never use this in PvE because it's 330. And I'm not a really big fan of this archetype of auto rifle in PvE anyways. So, in my special slot, I use a number of things. I just recently got the 77 Wizard, and I do not use it for anything. I haven't even used it yet once, but even if I did, I would only use it for PvP, because it's a low light level right now, and I have nothing to infuse into it. I use my LDR 5001 most often. It is a 363 with Eye of the Storm, Ambush Scope, Handlaid Stock, and Unflinching. It is not a god roll by any means, but it is definitely a good PvE roll. Definitely nice maxed out stability with a solar damage modifier. So this is what I use most often. In PvP, what I find using most often is a tie between my Wormwood and my Matador 64. My Wormwood, I bought this on day 1 of the Rise of Iron's release. It is the Future War Cult sidearm. It's the new Future War Cult sidearm. It's the vendor roll, if I'm not mistaken. It has... No, actually, I think I got this from a package, as I recall. It has high caliber rounds, which staggers people, hand-loaded, which increases the effective range, and Hot Swap, which is, if you don't know, Hot Swap is fantastic for sidearms. Having that brief period of bonus accuracy when you swap to it, you're usually swapping to a sidearm to finish people off anyways, so it's very good to have Hot Swap on a sidearm. And then the other special weapon that I use most often is my Matador 64. Now, this is a little deceiving because I had the Matador 64 that Shaxx gives you from the quest, from the Glory and the Taking of It quest, the really bad road one. I just got this one from the weekly Crucible Nightfall reward bounty. It has accurized ballistics with spray and play, hammer forged, and rangefinder. I know hammer forged is probably not most people's cup of tea, but currently it increases range the exact same amount as Send It and Rifle Barrel and Reinforced Barrel on Matador. So this is the maximum amount of range you can get on a Matador as far as I know, and it has rangefinder on it. So it's pretty much a god roll shotgun. I think if I had the option, I would have gone with Cascade instead of Spray and Play, but Spray and Play is nice, I suppose. Spray and Play is more of a PvE thing rather than PvP thing, because most of them that I'm running out of ammo in PvP, like completely out of the magazine, I'm more than likely probably not going to be in that situation specifically, but whatever. It's mostly about the hammer forge and rangefinder. And then, like I said, I've just gotten the 77 Wizard, so I haven't used it yet. And then in PvE, when it's Arcburn, I bring out my Occam's Razor. This is a specifically rolled Occam's Razor for myself. I got this from a package. It has smooth ballistics with close indoor personal or life support. And I choose life support instead of close indoor personal because in PvE, getting that bonus melee damage isn't really necessarily that important. I tend to favor life support over this because being able to be healed when you kill something with the shotgun when I'm wounded is much more useful, especially since you're in the fray with this shotgun. I was lucky enough to get rifle barrel on it, and the only other option otherwise is lightweight, and lightweight is not very useful to me, so I choose rifle barrel. And the reload without rifle barrel is pretty high, so taking the hit is really not that big of a deal to me. And then a PvE favorite, crowd control. I absolutely adore crowd control on shotguns, especially a shotgun with this rate of fire and impact. I absolutely adore it. Its impact is very low, so having crowd control is going to make it a lot better to use. And so if I'm using my Hopscotch Pilgrim in PvE, which I almost always am, I'm most of the time using my Yallarhorn. It's not really much of a surprise I'm using Yallarhorn. It's Yallarhorn. What can you expect? It's great. If I'm using Khvostov in PvP, which most of the time I am, I usually either switch, then I'm most of the time running Herald Column's Terminus, and if I'm not using Khvostov and I'm using like my Wounded or my Hopscotch for whatever reason in PvP, then I will not keep on Yallarhorn, and instead I will switch to Thunderlord, because I actually do like Thunderlord. But my Thunderlord and my Young Wolf's Howls are both in the 360 range, so most of the time in PvE I'm using Yallarhorn. But if I choose to switch it up a bit, I do have my Young Wolf's Howl and my Thunderlord to go back on in case I want to switch it up. Specifically for Arcburn, since this week's modifiers for the weekly heroic playlist is Arcburn, I can swap on Thunderlord, swap on Occam's Razor, and then throw on my Striker and be totally set for a strike. So that's my current gear setup right now. My max light that I've been able to attain is 361. I know the minimum raid requirements are 370, but I feel like if I go in at 361, I'm not going to have too much of a hard time with it. I kind of expected the raid requirements at least to be 265, which is a little disappointing because I really wanted them to be 265, because having it be at 365, having it not be at 365 is a little bit disappointing, because 370 seems like a really gigantic light that you have to attain, because the only other way that you can attain 365 to 370 is through exotic engrams and a package loot, so you have to really grind everything out. So I thought maybe the raid starting at 365 and then moving up to 385 would have been a much more fair light increase, or a light starter, but whatever, it's their raid. So this is my setup most of the time. I hope you guys enjoyed checking out what my character is progressing at right now, and I hope you guys have a wonderful time with Rise of Iron, and I hope you guys are having a great raid. Thanks for watching, everyone.